My name is Lisa Arthurs and I was diagnosed in 2011. In 2011, I was studying abroad. I was in Hawaii living, and I got lots of abdominal pain very suddenly. In retrospect, I'd had some of the bloating and the frequent urination, especially at nighttime, was my main symptom, but I didn't really attribute it to anything until I went to my doctor with the really deep, painful abdominal pain that just wouldn't go away. And straight away, my doctor on campus sent me for an ultrasound within a day. And the radiologist was able to see straight away that there was a mass. And then they immediately referred me to the only consultant on the island. So it was very quick that I was able to get to see a consultant and have all my tests done and confirm what it was. My first treatment was in Hawaii. I had my first surgery, and that was moderately successful. And so I was healthy again for probably a couple of months. But there was a lot of complications with my first surgery because the mass ended up growing to be the size of a basketball, so it was quite large. I looked fairly pregnant. And so obviously removing a mass that size in one operation was quite difficult, and so there were complications. We didn't realize the extent of the complications until after I moved back to Canada and the mass regrew on the same ovary, and I could feel the exact same symptoms came back very aggressively this time. And luckily my GP was absolutely amazing, and within a day I had another scan, and again the radiologist sat me down that day and said yes, and then within a couple of weeks I had another surgery, so everything was very, very fast for me even when I got to go back to Canada. I've not had any more treatment. Luckily, fingers crossed, everything has been all clear. Tomorrow is 6 years since my successful second operation, and I've not had any issues since then. I moved to England that December, so only a few months later, and luckily on the NHS I've been really, really fortunate, and I've had consultants all across the country because I've apparently moved quite a lot. I now only need to have a follow-up once a year because I've had so many negative scans and blood work, so everything is good. For me personally, I found that when I was first diagnosed, there was really nothing for me, for younger women. It made me feel like I was just this anomaly and there wasn't a lot of support for me. It wasn't until I moved to London and I found this massive group of people, and I actually felt like there were resources out there to help me, but they just didn't exist in other places I'd lived in, and especially when I was first diagnosed at 21, it just made me feel really alone. The biggest thing for me is I wish the consultants and my GP would have known where to send me for help. Young people can have this and it can affect their lives drastically, but that's okay. But let them have the help and point them in the right direction. If they don't access it, then that's their choice, but at least let them know that it exists. For me, it's really important that Target Ovarian Cancer has the funding so we can get that word out there to younger women that this is something that can affect you, but there is help out there. Target Ovarian Cancer does have services in place to help young women, and that is so important, and we need them to know from the day they get diagnosed that there is help out there, and we do want to support them all throughout this.